Come on in.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Emily Cunard with ADP.
Pete Matoulis, nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to eat, by the way.
Yeah, go ahead. No problem at all.
That's right, I'm the prospect. I can eat if I want to.
Of course you can. You can do whatever. Here's my business card. I wanted to go ahead and give that to you. Thank you. Yeah. So thank you again for meeting with me. I know you're very busy, so I appreciate that. I was doing some research on Page Medical Clinic before I came to our meeting today, and I actually came across an article, and it mentioned that you guys were voted #1 for excellence in patient satisfaction. I just think that says a lot about your company.
Our fake company actually won a fake award? That's awesome.
What do you mean by that?
Come on.
This is what I found, and so I thought that was just such a great accomplishment, because the minute I walked in, your staff was so friendly and inviting.
Thank
and
you.
I just think that says a lot about it, because after all, coming to a doctor's office can be a little bit uncomfortable and daunting. So
Well, listen, we've had most of these people since day one when we opened up our first clinic, and
Yeah.
they're as much family as anything, and so they're the reason we decided to open up. I guess it's a good reason to open up a second clinic.
yeah, that's awesome. And how's that going so far?
We really kind of thought it would be as easy as opening up the first one. You know, you do one, you get it done, you know what you're doing. It should just be easy, like signing a lease, throwing some people in there, putting a sign on the door. It's been almost as difficult as the first one we opened, which shouldn't seem that way since we have experience. So it's been a challenge, it's been a stress, it's been a stress on me, it's been a stress on my wife. I think, I might have mentioned on the phone, she does all the payroll and everything.
Right, yeah.
But it was great when it was 1, 2, 3, 5 employees. I guess I didn't pay attention as I was growing the business. The stress level on her, the mistakes, the issues we have. So we have to look for other ways to decrease that sort of issue, make our employees happy, because some of our first employees, they've been with us forever, and so when we make a mistake, they're cool with it. They've been around, we're friends. This new office, we don't know these people as well, and we're making mistakes. They're getting mad. I'm losing people over it. They say, no, we're not organized. They say they're not as good as their last employee. It's a problem. So I'm really hesitant, though, from the standpoint of, to make myself better, I have to pay you money. And we're really trying to cut costs because we want to open up a third location. We want to buy new imaging machines. We want to do all this fancy stuff. So the concept of making my life easier by spending more money, I get it, but I'm a little nervous about it.
Of course, no,
So-
I understand it. At this point, every decision you make is very critical.
Sure.
I understand that, and so that's why I'm here today, just so I can get a better understanding of your business.
Okay.
So I just want to tell me all the challenges you're facing. It sounds like you're having some stresses, so I want to get a better understanding of that. So what we'll do with our 20 minutes today is I'll just ask you some questions, and ultimately I'll tell you about ADP and what we can do, and then if everything sounds good, we'll talk about the next steps.
Got it.
But this is just me fact-finding, trying to figure out information. So, you are the doctor here and at the other location as well. Are you the key decision maker, or do you, involve anybody else in that process?
My practice, my name, my decisions.
Okay. Now, I know you mentioned your wife is mostly doing the payroll, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, when it comes to a payroll provider, what criteria do you guys use in making a purchasing decision?
Well, obviously, I haven't really done much other than say, hey, you need to be my payroll person. So I don't really know how much decision I put into it other than I look at her. She doesn't really know we're doing this meeting so much. Look, I'm sure she does a fine job. It's tough. When we started this, we had a 1-year-old. Her mother lived with us. They took care of the baby. She was available all the time. We had a second child. Now we've got a third. That takes up a lot of time. But she kind of likes coming into the office. She likes doing stuff. It's her kind of baby.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the stress level is ridiculous.
I'm sure.
She only works part-time. Mm-hmm. Look, maybe she likes being out of the house. I have no idea. But what I do know is, I'd like to say it's the software's problem. She likes to say it's the software's problem. It probably is not.
Okay.
It might be her, but that's a really tough thing for me to say. So, look, she spends in a perfect world, she spends about 4 hours a week doing this. Mm-hmm. And I pay her $500 a week. She comes in and does everything. But the fact is, she's got to reissue checks every week. People's direct deposits don't work. Look, all I know is I hear about it, that there's problems. And so, it just doesn't seem like we can get it done right. So is it her? Is it the software? I don't know. I can't really get rid of her.
No, not at all.
So I got to figure out another solution, and I don't know if it's the software. So
okay.
I'm just trying to look for alternatives that could save me money and time and effort.
Definitely. No, I completely understand where you're coming from. And we don't want to eliminate her. She's a valuable asset for you and your company, and we want to keep her around, but we want to make her life a little easier. We don't want her to be stressed out. So that is ultimately why we're here, so we can kind of understand some of those stresses and maybe help eliminate those.
Sure.
So if, I show you those ways that ADP can help that, is this something that you're able to make a decision today, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, if it's a solution that works,
Okay.
I mean, and I can't see any reason why I wouldn't do it. I mean, that's the reason I have you in here, is to try and figure out if there's another solution.
All right, great. I'm glad to hear that. So could you walk me through the payroll process? I know that is something she does. You're visiting patients, but
Yeah. So
is it mostly manual? Walk me through kind
it's
of
all
what she does.
manual. We use something. It's not QuickBooks. It's something else, but like that. It's like
Okay.
made for
software.
software for small businesses.
Sure.
It's like TurboTax, but for payroll. And so we've got that, and I know we have to update it every year because
Okay.
the different tax law changes, and that costs us some money. I don't know, like maybe $1,500 a year. We got to up. I mean, I think that's what the number is. So she keys manually everything in. She sends all the transcripts to the bank, and then we mail all the checks to everybody.
Okay.
She cuts the checks here, I sign them, we mail them out to everybody. And I mean, it used to be awesome. It seems like everything's gotten more complicated. So
You've grown, so
well,
you have a
yeah,
lot
but
more.
it's true, and she's got different responsibilities, all that other stuff. But that's about what it takes. She comes in on Tuesdays to do all that. We issue the payroll she comes in every Tuesday to do it. She comes in the next week to verify it, and then
Okay.
we issue them every 2 weeks.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, I know you said she likes her job
Yeah.
and she likes being there, but how satisfied do you think she really is with this current process?
Probably not much, because I've been losing my temper a few times and things are going wrong, and I'm trying to grow this practice and people are yelling at me and I'm trying to protect her. At the end of the day, I get home and I mean, we fight over these different things.
Oh no.
And it's like, I shouldn't have that. I mean, maybe I wouldn't have these problems if it was somebody else doing it. Maybe I really think at some point it might be what we're just too big now. Maybe
Right.
how we do it is not the way to do it. I mean, ADP's pretty big. I mean, I have friends that use you all, so they're kind of big or about our size, so maybe there's something to it.
Okay. Well, happy wife, happy life. So we want to keep her happy.
Good.
So, if we could get you to a 10 satisfaction, is that something you're interested in? We want to make this a seamless process.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now, other than payroll, are there any other responsibilities that she has around the office?
I mean, I guess I kind of call her my HR manager. I don't really know
Okay.
what she does with that. We haven't been sued yet, so maybe she's doing her job. Or maybe,
Okay.
maybe we're lucky. I don't really know. But look, all I know is with Affordable Care Act, all this healthcare stuff, there's compliance. She keeps talking to me about that. I send her some classes on it. I think I'm just too busy, and it's not risen to be a problem, so she's not squeaking about it. So I think we're okay, but she probably handles that too. I don't know.
So that's not a huge concern for you at the moment.
Well, it probably should be, but we're trying to grow this practice and, save money and all that stuff. So I know it should be important, but.
Well, compliance is actually really huge. I mean, every 3.5 seconds, it's something crazy. There's a new compliance law that's changing. Have you guys ever been charged a fee for that in the past?
I don't know. I don't know if we're actually getting anything. So
Okay.
we probably haven't paid anybody. So if we're not paying anybody, we're probably not getting it. But if I need to have it, it's probably a problem.
So would having a system that allowed her to stay compliant at all times and constantly be updated so she's not playing that guessing game, is that something that would be beneficial for her?
Yeah, considering we don't have it now, I think it probably would be, yeah.
Okay. So we've talked about a lot so far. It sounds like right now, doing the manual process, it's taking her astronomical amounts of times, about 4 hours a week, and there's still errors that are occurring sometimes. So, there's that, the timing, the stress, and also HR compliance is something that she is managing as well. And it is hard to stay compliant with all the changing laws, and I understand that stress. Is there anything else that's going to be important to you in this meeting you'd like to talk about today?
The cost.
The
It's
cost.
going to come down to cost because
Okay.
right now, I pay her $500 a week to do it. I'd like to sort of replace her. I got to manage it, but if it's going to be replacing her, and spending more money and not getting anything better out of it and nothing more to it, it's not going to make sense because it's not worth the fight I have at home. But if it's better, and even if it costs me a little bit more money and I can relieve her of the stress of the job and she can take care of the kids at home, then I think that's how I would justify it to spend more money to it, and I think that's how I would justify it to her. That I'm not replacing her per se.
Okay.
So
Well, what I'd like to do is go ahead and talk about how we can help. So we'll go ahead and tell you a little bit about ADP. It sounds like, you have some friends that have used us before, so you're a little bit familiar with us and what we do.
Sure.
We work with small businesses just like you on a daily basis. So, we do more than just payroll. So we do everything from HR compliance, doing background checks. We help you with tax season. I know that's very stressful. So we do everything, and it's all in one central system called Run ADP.
Okay. Does it cost me more money for each of those different things?
It doesn't. It's included.
Okay.
Everything we're going to talk about today, is going to be in one central location and one price.
Okay.
So, like I said, she can access it from everywhere and anywhere. I know you said she enjoys going to the office, and that's really great. But if she has to run and take the kids to a soccer game, she can be processing payroll at the same time.
Got it.
She's not limited to what she can do. And I want to kind of just jump in and show you really quick about what Run ADP looks like, just so you can see it for yourself.
Okay.
What better way? So this can be accessed on any kind of smartphone device, laptop, iPhone, even Androids and Blackberries, and it's just an app. So we have a demo I'd like to show you today, and we can run through that really quickly, and it takes about a minute or less to run payroll.
Okay.
I just wanted to show you how easy that is.
For purposes of moving this along, we watched it for a minute. Go.
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
We're good.
So you've watched it. What do you think about it so far?
Well, I think it's good. I mean, that's fancy and slick. There's no way what we have that probably we've had for 5 or 10 years that we just update. I think it still comes on a floppy disk. So I'm pretty certain it doesn't run on a machine like that. So yeah, that would be good. Because right now, the only way for it to do it is to come into the office. It's not even compatible with our home computer or the laptop. But that's awesome.
I wanted to show you one more thing on this. It's really, really beneficial, especially when you're a manager. An HR manager, she has a lot of responsibilities, keeping customers happy. I know you mentioned sometimes your customers at your other location, or employees, say, hey, you guys aren't organized. What about us over here? So that's what's really awesome about this is staying compliant isn't easy for being a small business. And we have an HR checkup for you, and it actually gives you, practical information and best practices for helping you guys. You deal with heated employees or employees that are unhappy. It's going to be able to help you guys in those kind of situations and let you know what to do to handle that. Also, changing laws, we talked about that. Every 3.5 seconds they're changing, and you actually get an HR dictionary that kind of just explains to you what all these different rules and regulations are, and you'll get instant updates whenever they're changed.
All right, this all sounds fancy. It's on the iPhone. What's this going to cost me? Because at the end of the day, this comes down to, look, I get it. This is way better than what we do. Loads, hands down. But I got to save money, and I'm really conscious of that. So what's this going to cost me? I got 35 employees. Right now, I pay my wife $500. I'm probably still going to have to pay her $500 because she's not going to like that. She's going to be more concerned about that piece. So what's it going to cost me plus to do this?
Of course. So with 35 employees, you're looking at about $78 per payroll. So you do payroll bi-weekly. So you're getting charged, let's do that real quick. It's going to be about $157 a month.
Okay.
You do have a one-time implementation fee. That's just your first time us getting you set up and acclimated in our system. After all, this is all going to be, tailored to your business needs. So we just do that one-time fee, and then that's what it's going to cost you per month. Like I said, everything we talked about from HR to compliance and payroll is going to be in that price.
Okay.
Do you think that that's something you could fit in your budget right now?
$78 a month?
Yeah. No, it's actually going to be $157 a month. This is how much it costs you per payroll process, and since you do it twice a month.
Yeah, for $157 a month to do all the things that you're going to do, plus the things that we didn't do. That certainly makes some sense. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we would totally do that.
This is something that you could afford?
Yeah, it's an affordable number.
Okay, great. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Moving forward, I'd love to be able for us to process your next payroll and get you guys all set up. So when can we do that? I can come in sometime next week and get you guys set up, and I'd love to be able to meet your wife too.
Well, let's do this. Let's schedule. What's today? Thursday. Let's maybe schedule it for next Friday because, look, I got my golfing buddy. So my golfing buddy. Look, before this meeting, I thought Paychex and ADP were all the same. I said, hey, I'm meeting with one of your ADP folks, and he was all confused because he said, hey, I don't work for ADP, I work for Paychex. I'm like, yeah, same thing.
Uh-oh.
So He wasn't all happy with me. So, I mean, at some point, like, look, I'm sure that you guys have a good product. It's all good. I think they're all the same. Maybe they're not, but I'm going to probably go ahead and talk to him and sort of kind of see, like, what can he offer, take a look at that, and then, but I'll meet with him before, I got to meet with him. So.
Sure, I mean, I understand that he sounds like a friend, but I feel like one thing that just makes us a little bit different is that, we have it all in one central location, and it's really simple for your wife. We want it to be really seamless, and they may seem very similar. We've been doing this for about 65 years, so I consider us experts. But one thing that you don't have is me, and I'm going to really invest in your business. And I know he's your friend, you probably trust him, but I've been working with small businesses for about 10 years, and I'm a business consultant. So I've been working with businesses just like yours, and I really value allowing you to grow. I want to see you be able to open that third business that you guys are talking about. So one thing I can promise you is that I'll be there every step of the way.
Okay.
And so I just want to ensure that you understand that, and hopefully once you talk to him, we'll still be able to have that second meeting, because I'd really love to do that.
Yeah, and I'll make sure my wife's there so we can go ahead and she'll be there. I mean, like, I think it's important. Like, I mean, I'd probably tell you I have the ability to make the decision, but probably not. Like, I like to think I do, but sometimes I get overruled. So yeah, I mean, we'll do a second meeting.
Okay. So sometime next week, does that sound good for you?
Yeah, let's do it on Friday morning.
I know you mentioned that this was in your budget and you could sign up today. Could I get you to sign the line and we could get started our next meeting?
I'm still gonna talk to my buddy. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, I understand that. Well, I look forward to our next meeting. I want to go ahead and put that in our calendar, though.
Got it.
And I'm going to set up with you. I'll give you a call early next week just to verify we're still on. So, 9 a.m., does that work okay for you?
9 a.m. works.
This time? Okay, great. Well, I will see you then, Dr. Page. Thank you so much. Thank you for meeting with me.
Very nice to meet you. All right, so we're off the clock now. I get to give you feedback. You're the boxer, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you must have met Jeff, who I work with, and he came back here to give you a card. He said boxing. That was your. I can only stay for a few minutes. I didn't make it all around the whole entire thing. But was that your pitch, or that was your booth or whatever?
Yes, I was the boxing chick.
So I asked him what the whole thing, the boxing was. So is that what you use for exercise?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's like, do you know people do that? I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, people do a lot of different things.
Yeah, it's really, really awesome. I can't go to the gym. I have to do these classes.
Yeah.
And this is, being at UCF, they didn't really have anything like it. It's a new one. So I was like, let me try this out. And I've loved it. I've just fallen in love with it. It's a lot of mind, too. You don't realize it really works out your mind. It's awesome.
Well, listen, a couple different things that I wanted to say. And so the pushback on some stuff is Steiger has us doing a few things here that I don't think he's told you. So what I would say is this. Were very important in the beginning as you asked if the decision maker was here. And so what you'll find, we find in our business a lot. Yeah, I'm the decision maker. Maybe I'm not, but I'm going to always tell you I am. And so you can only go forward with what I've told you. So, but I think it's always good to make sure, hey, do we have this to go ahead? Is this do it? And then I like that you said what's important to you. So you set the ground rules of, look, it's the agenda. Can we talk about what's important to you so we can figure out how we can accomplish? Because at the end of the day, anybody who's invited a salesperson in recognizes that part of the equation is I'm a buyer, you're a seller, which means for you to succeed, you have to sell and win, and I have to buy. And so we obviously are at odds there. I did like that you used the mobile, and I thought that was one of the best things.